right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, crews are battling a massive fire and triple-digit temperatures at a Metro East salvage yard as the entire St. Louis region battles an excessive heat warning. We'll have more on the fire in a moment. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Temperatures reached 100 degrees today, and it's going to get hotter as kids head back to school this week. We're under a weather alert, so let's get straight over to meteorologist Gary Frank with that weather first forecast. Gary?
Yeah, and 100 degrees, it's the third time we've hit it all year long, and we can deal with that. We expect it in August, but it's the excessive heat warning that's in place. I want to show you why. Not only these urban areas that don't cool off below 80, but the excessive heat warning is between now through Thursday, and it's consecutive amounts of this. We got to 100 today, not only in St. Louis, but many other spots, and if you didn't get to 100, it's felt like 100. Even at this hour, it's because of the significant humidity. These numbers were much, much higher today. In fact, it was one of the warmest all time when you factor in the humidity, and we'll get to that in about 10 minutes. But I want to look from now to Friday. We have alert days. I've extended it through Friday, even though the excessive heat warning goes to Thursday. It really has to do with the amount of humidity is in place. But overnight lows are not much below 80. It doesn't give your body, it doesn't give anyone that doesn't have AC much of a break, because all of a sudden it's 9 a.m. and it's 90 plus degrees outside, and it feels like it's over 100. And that's going to be a big key for us. With highs near 100 for several days in a row, we'll talk about how many in a row we can hit 100 and what we're in a top 5 for in terms of humidity coming up shortly.
And stay on top of this excessive heat warning. You can get the latest weather first forecast anytime just by texting the word weather to 314-425-5355. Developing tonight, this excessive heat comes as firefighters in the Metro East battle a massive fire at a salvage yard. A large black cloud could be seen for miles, and that fire is still burning tonight. It broke out at an auto salvage yard off State Road 111 in Madison County. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski has been in the area all night, and she joins us now with the latest. Laura.
Mike, crews have been just battling this fire for hours, and they tell me one of the most difficult things is they actually have to truck in all of their water that they're using to battle this blaze. Now, as you said, we could see this from more than a mile away. We could actually see the flames too, feeding that smoke billowing into the air. Fairmont City Police blocked off Highway 111 about a mile away from the Granite City salvage yard because the fire was just so big. We saw fire crews from New Baden, Troy, and Madison, just to name a few, and St. Clair County EMA tells us they're also assisting. We've seen water truck after water truck coming up to hydrants around town, filling and rushing right back to the fire. They've been in a constant cycle to try and put this fire out, and I actually talked with another fire protection district earlier today about fighting large fires in dangerous heat. They tell me it usually just requires a lot more personnel so they themselves don't get overwhelmed with heat illnesses.
We'll add additional alarms to working structure fires. We'll bring in, there's a first responder canteen that comes in. They bring in additional fluids for us and help us with cool beverages and so on and so forth. We'll also maybe shorten the work cycles that the guys are on. Instead of doing 2 bottles before, or 2 cycles before they go back in, they might just be 1.
We can actually still see the glow of the fire and the smoke billowing up. And behind me, you can see those water trucks rotating in and out as they say they're probably going to be fighting this well into the night and even the morning. We still don't know yet exactly what caused this fire. It's under investigation. Reporting live from Madison County, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Tonight, the power is back on in Ballwin. It was out during the hottest part of the day along Manchester Road. Around 2,500 homes and businesses were affected. Several stores, including Target, were forced to close. Traffic lights along Manchester also went out. Ameren, Missouri tells 5 on your side the outage was caused by a mechanical issue. The power outage also affected the last few hours of Ballwin days. Vendors were allowed to close up early. The carnival rides remained in operation because they were using an alternative power source. The 3-day festival wrapped up at 5:30 tonight. A live look now at City Park. St. Louis City SC just started the second half of its match against Austin FC. They hit the pitch after the sun went down, but fans still braved the hot sun and sweltering heat for the club's first game in 3 weeks. They came early for a pre-match block party. We saw plenty of fans with water bottles, fans, and towels to try and beat the heat. Tomorrow is the first day of school for several public schools in Missouri, and the triple-digit temperatures on this last day of summer break did not stop parents, kids, and community leaders from coming out for a school block party in Wellston. New tonight, our Paula Vesson was there in the middle of the action and has more about that event's important mission.
There's music, free backpacks, and school supplies handed out at this block party in Wellston, celebrating a return to the classroom.
It's great. This is what we need to do to get the community back together.
Nicole Johnson admits the heat will be difficult when she brings her daughter to her charter school.
Because the schools does not provide transportation anymore. So it's on the parents to make sure they have transportation.
She's bracing herself for a 2-hour commute on the bus.
I get up in the morning, take my baby on the bus, and then I go to work.
Well worth it, she says, for an education. For Lawrence, who heads to 10th grade at Normandy High School tomorrow, this event is all about instilling a commitment to education in younger generations.
We got an opportunity to give back to the community that we grew up in.
And this heat isn't keeping these kids away from having a blast, and more importantly, getting excited for an upcoming school year.
But it's not all about having fun. This celebration also stresses safety.
Well, I am in here stressing how important it is to lock up our firearms around children.
A year and a half ago, her grandson, LaFrance Johnson, was shot to death. It happened accidentally by his 10-year-old brother. She says a gun lock would have saved his life. Organizers here say it takes a community to make sure students head back to school safely, prepared, and eager to learn. In Wellston, Paula Vesson, 5 on your side.
A spokesperson with St. Louis Public Schools, which start class tomorrow, tells us that in anticipation of the heat this week, air conditioning has been running all weekend. Outdoor activities will also be limited, and extra water bottles will be brought into all buildings. Students are also encouraged to bring water bottles with them on the school bus. District officials are also encouraging parents to drive their students to school if they can. For more information on cooling centers and how to stay safe in these dangerous temperatures, just text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355 and we'll send it right to your phone. Tonight, Southern California is dealing with 2 natural events. A 5.1 magnitude earthquake was centered near Ojai, which is about 90 minutes north of Los Angeles. Shaking could be felt in Santa Barbara, Malibu, and Simi Valley. No reports of injuries or significant damage. The earthquake comes as Tropical Storm Hilary makes landfall. It's the first tropical storm to hit the region in more than 25 years. Heavy rains have already caused flooding and mudslides, and officials warn the worst of the storm is yet to come. Maximum sustained winds have hovered around 60 miles per hour, knocking down trees and causing power outages. Governor Gavin Newsom has proclaimed a state of emergency.
Certainly interesting times. Tornadoes, lightning strikes. I've got CAL FIRE worried about wildfires because of the winds. Check my phone and learn about an earthquake that originally came in at 6.0, appears to be close to 5.1. There were over 13 aftershocks just in the drive over in the Ventura region. These are certainly interesting times.
The system is moving towards Arizona and Nevada. Both states are also preparing for flooding. President Biden will visit Maui tomorrow in the wake of those devastating wildfires, and the trip does not come without some criticism from not only Republicans, but residents. Grief turning to anger amid this mountain of loss. 85% of the burn zone has been searched. The fatality count stands at 114, with over 1,000 unaccounted for. Tonight, a North County funeral home is boarded up after a car crashed into the building. This happened at the Austin Lane Mortuary in Jennings early Saturday morning. The driver was taken to the hospital with non-serious injuries. The building sustained extensive damage. Police are still investigating. Well, tonight there are 2 new members of the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Several Redbird greats are on hand for today's induction ceremony at Ballpark Village. The list includes Mark McGwire, Ozzie Smith, Ted Simmons, former manager Tony La Russa. They welcome the late Max Lanier, a pitcher from the 40s, and the secret weapon, Jose Oquendo, to the Red Jacket Club. Sports director Frank Cusimano will have more from today's ceremony later on Sports Plus.
Finding hope.
Hope and pray that everything's going to be normal and normal kid, and then now all of a sudden they tell you that she might not live to be 2.
She was diagnosed with a deadly disease. Now she's thriving thanks to a new treatment. How it's all thanks to you. Finders keepers? Tonight, our Verify team solves the legal mystery surrounding mystery packages that show up on your doorstep.
This afternoon, our heat index, that's the heat plus the humidity, it felt like 115, even higher in some cases. Why this is just the beginning of the heat and why we are so hot each afternoon.
Coming up on Sports Plus at 10:30, we have 2 things we haven't been able to discuss much lately. The Cardinals winning a game and City SC playing a game. Plus, we have the one and only Bob Costas in studio as our special guest, and we asked him to compare our Cardinal fan base to others.
None have the combination of passion, knowledge, and generally speaking, civility, and almost fondness and affection that you find in St. Louis. It's that combination that I think sets St. Louis apart.
And John Mozeliak will join us for some thoughts on the Cardinals' past, present, and future. We will see you shortly for Sports Plus.